Welcome everybody to the fifth episode. I know what you're gonna say, David. Don't worry about it. Of Hyperdimension Neptunia 1. In this episode, instead of playing the three games together, we're only playing Neptunia 1 because we need to catch up. Anyways,
Yeah.
the goal of this episode, since there is zero cutscenes, this is strictly a gameplay episode. We're decided to talk about the Sonic 3 movie.
Oh yeah, because for those of you,
No, good point.
for those who don't know, the day this is being recorded, Sonic 3 just came out, and both me and Miguel saw it today. Well, yeah, today.
Well, yeah. And let's just say that this movie, I had a very mixed feeling about it. But I know how David felt. He was much more passionate about it than I was.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I honestly think this movie is the best one of the trilogy. Which honestly, the whole time I was worried that the movie was not gonna be well because of how video game movies are, especially with one with three movies. But but when I saw that the early reviews were positive, I had higher hope, and then though the hope fell because this movie was just everything I wanted and more.
I'm gonna say that whoever in the press release said that it was a Sonic Adventure 2 movie was a liar, though. It was not a Sonic Adventure 2 movie. It was a movie featuring characters from Sonic Adventure 2.
Like, okay, yeah, I will say that because despite the fact we have Shadow instead of people, and even the Eclipse canon, it was far from being back with Sonic Adventure 2, which is fine, really. The movie never really copied the games exactly.
I know that they didn't copy the games exactly, but if you look at the trailer, all the press release material, and even the fact that one of the writers who worked with Jeff Fowler stated that it was targeted towards the fans of the games this time around, it really is a bit off. Because I didn't expect movie 1 to be like the games. I already accepted that going in. And I really had no interest in movie 2 until I saw it in Japan in Japanese. That one was pretty cool. So I was like, you know what, movie 2, okay, it was good. It was pretty good. It sold me. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna go to movie 3. I'm very excited. It's probably the only movie I care about watching this year. I mean, as a family movie, it's an alright family movie. I have nothing negative against it. But as a Sonic story, I don't think so. I don't think it was all that.
I would have to kind of disagree with that because, oh man, I just really enjoyed this movie, and I don't know how to say how more about it. How it's not a what makes you say it's not a Sonic movie per se?
Okay. So the movie features Sonic characters, but the thing is, they're still characterized in the way that Pontef wrote them, except they're using the dialogue inflection of the Ian Flynn comics, if you read IDW. Now, I'm not saying that they're going around quoting every single previous event in the past movies. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the way the characters speak, their inflection in their voice, approaches more that style. For example, if you look at how Frontiers is written versus how Colors is written versus how Adventure 1 is written, Sonic does not sound like he's the same character. I get that he's different actors in those games, but I'm saying the way that the lines are written. So, to me, I'm thinking, oh, Adventure 2 movie, okay, they're not gonna, obviously they're not gonna bring back Maekawa for that. But I figured, given that I believe it was Keanu Reeves who said he watched an all cutscenes video of Sonic Adventure 2, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So here I'm thinking that, okay, they're gonna at least try to emulate more the Maekawa style of writing, but they didn't. And Maekawa's writing for Sonic starts in 1991 and ends in 2009 with Black Knight. So that era of the series was so consistent among all of the eras that I just respect it so much in the terms of the writing. And when I think of the character of Sonic, that era is specifically what I think of. when I think about a game like Colors, it doesn't really feel like Sonic. When I think of the movies, it doesn't feel like the Sonic. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I suppose. I guess in some way you can say you can see that movie Sonic and game Sonic are two different characters.
My question is, why
Like,
did they write movie Sonic as a wannabe Spider-Man type?
I don't know. I think it kind of fits them. It kind of says by that Sonic is a kid, ish.
Well, I don't know how
It-
old
it
movie
must-
Sonic is, though. How old is he?
That's a good question. I think it was said that he was. I don't know. He was a baby. He was like a toddler when he left Earth, and I think it said it was like 10 years after.
So he was, what, 13 in these movies?
Probably. I think so. I'm not. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Although there are some things that I am ashamed we didn't see, because they show in the trailer, oh, Shadow's driving the motorcycle and he's got a gun in his hand. Oh wait, it's not an actual gun, it's a freaking laser sword. I mean laser gun. I'm like, god damn it.
Yeah. One thing I will say, but I'm both surprised but also not surprised it is how they handled Maria's death.
Okay,
the people-
I had to think
no,
about
no,
that. Okay, go for it.
Let me finish. People came into this movie thinking that they were actually gonna show a child getting shot.
I was thinking
I
that
would-
too. I was looking forward
Yeah,
to that,
exactly.
man.
So was I. But well, if
When you
if
say that out
was the
loud, that sounds
intent-
horrible.
Okay. Good too. But because of the intention, but except for one, they didn't use bullets, they used laser pistols again.
I never liked that about these movies. Isn't it that the only time they don't do that is in the wedding scene of Sonic 2, where they use just gun?
And also in the first scene when the town went up against Robotnik.
Oh, right, I remember that. Okay.
But anyway,
yeah.
yeah, they used laser pistols, and instead of them shooting Maria directly, they shot a vat of some kind of energy which exploded. And she died as a result.
Did you notice that Gerald's lab on the not Ark? Well, I forget what it was called in that movie because it wasn't called the Ark.
It was just a base. It was
Yeah,
really just a base.
the base. Because there's no Ark in those movies. There's only the Eclipse Cannon. And the Eclipse Cannon is really cool, but that was just one of many things Gerald made. But according to this
Yeah.
story, he just made the Eclipse Cannon. And
And
also,
so the Eclipse Cannon as return for its freedom.
although I gotta say, what is it about these movies and hating just having the Chaos Emeralds be its own thing instead of, always having to require the Master Emerald?
Yeah, that's something I'm a bit confused. Like, that was never the hit in the games, right?
Never.
The Master Emerald and Chaos Emerald were different things.
Yeah, the Master Emerald is from Earth. The Chaos Emeralds are from space. Now that's been retconned by Ian Flynn.
And in a way, it kind of makes sense-ish.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest though. That scene where where Eggman's assistant says to Tails, "So how does it like being Sonic's assistant?" And it just ends with him going, I never want to say this in front of everyone, but you're really cute.
He did the first then after the assistant.
That scene, I don't know why. That is the only scene. Okay, that is the one of two scenes where I actually let out a laugh. I'm gonna be honest. I had to be the most serious-faced person at this movie, cause I was at this theater and everybody's laughing but me, and I'm thinking maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm what's wrong.
Me on the other hand, oh no, I was freaking out the entire time.
Freaking out.
Everything. Well, yeah, when they showed. For one, I did laugh at the jokes too, but also freaking out when they showed. When they mentioned the Eclipse Cannon, when they showed Maria at first, and then I freaked out when they freaking did the super fight and then Lemon Line. Oh, I was freaking out like so much.
Fun fact, by the way, the last time we got a Sonic vs. Shadow in super form was in 2004 in Sonic X. So it's been 20 years.
That was the only time we got a super fight.
Was it? No, I'm pretty sure they fought in the comics.
Well, I never read the Archie comics. I don't think they fought. I don't think Super Sonic and Shadow fought in IDW. And I never read Archie.
Okay. Here's something interesting, though. Given that I think for this time, for real, Jim Carrey's character is dead.
Oh yeah, without that, Eggman is gone.
And they do that scene where Sonic is in the forest and they have a bunch of Metal Sonics surrounding him, and then Amy saves him. That's how the Metallics arc of the comics, Fleetway Sonic, opens. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm not gonna do this again. I'm not gonna hyper analyze the original source material and then go watch this movie and get pissed off. I'm gonna actually try to watch these movies as if they are separate from the series, because whoever these characters are, the only character that I think is still true to the source material is Tails. And to be fair, that's because Colleen plays Tails, and Colleen is Tails in the games.
Metallic. That's the red Metal Sonic, right?
Yeah, that's Fleetway stuff, yeah.
Oh my god, if we actually get Fleetway stuff in here, that's gonna be something.
That'd be sick. But it's like what someone told me yesterday. Well, when did I watch the movie? Wait. Hold on. I'm having a bit of a situation.
You said you saw it at midnight.
I said I was going to the midnight release, but I don't think the movie started at midnight. I think it started earlier. Whatever. The point is that I was thinking, why don't they have faith in the source material and try to adapt the Adventure 2 story correctly? And then somebody told me, do you think that the average person knows what Adventure 2 is? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, the Sonic fans do. And then I realized, I'm the only freaking Sonic fan in this theater. Okay? Everyone besides me and like one guy who sat in the back didn't really know the Maekawa era of Sonic. I think most of those people here started with the movies.
I don't think I remember the first game I played was Sonic Heroes, then Sonic Advance, and then Unleashed, then Black Knight.
So you were in the Maekawa era.
Yeah, but only briefly. After Black Knight, I kind of fell off into Forces.
Well, Black Knight is the final Maekawa game, so that makes sense. Anyways, to what I was saying, and I had to think about it. Do I think the average audience would realistically want the Adventure 2 movie? Like, realistically. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think so.
Because I can't even answer that because I never had a Dreamcast, so I never played Adventure 2 or Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't really answer.
I can answer, and I'm saying, I think that the fans of Sonic, which is what the press release was saying this third movie was for, wanted an adaptation of Adventure 2. Okay, I get that they don't want to have Gerald get executed via firing squad in a kids movie, but I honestly hated the jokes with him in this movie. It's almost like we're two characters in a movie played by the same actor. That was so stupid. I hated that shit.
I like that.
Maybe it's just me, but I happen to not like this new comedic era of Sonic that started with Colors.
Well, who knows what'll happen now? Now that the Eggman is getting another villain.
I'm assuming it is just gonna be Metallic's arc.
Well, Metallic, or hear me out, it could be Neo Metal.
But we don't have the other teams. Okay, whatever.
You know what? Fair point. We only have Team Sonic and only a third of Team Dark and Team Rose.
You know, when they had that hologram technology in the movie, I was thinking in the back of my head, one of the agents is Rouge. That's what I was thinking the whole time. It's like, it's gonna be revealed that one of these agents stole Tails' technology, and it's Rouge the Bat.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. After all, Rouge has been working for Gun since the very beginning.
Yes, Rouge always worked for Gun. She gets paid in jewels, not cash, jewels.
Right, so, yeah, ever since her appearance, she's always been on Gun. That I know.
And also, I gotta point out that the reason, like, in-universe, why the Sonic characters started telling all these jokes and being mad arrogant starting in Colors, is because from their perspective, they already won. They stopped the most evil thing Eggman did. he split the planet apart and created Eggman Land. That thing that he's been trying to build since Adventure 1.
Speaking of which, what
Yeah.
you
And
see
wouldn't
Eggman
it
Land
be
is
nice to live
Yeah.
together? You see, it's stuff like that that takes me out of the movie because that's not Sonic. But I'm thinking, that's the general audience.
I suppose, yeah. I
It's
guess,
like,
I guess, if I'd be honest, if I wanted Eggman the movie, I would want IDW Eggman.
well, I mean, IDW Eggman is now just the current Eggman.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that it's weird that they started off with the comedic characters because that's not how the series goes. Hell, Sonic saying in Sonic 2 that he wanted to be the hero is not correct to the character of Sonic. The character of Sonic does not care about being a hero. His entire shtick, and I'm actually surprised that the IDW gets this right, albeit the dialogue does not act like it does, is that Sonic is not a hero. He just wants to be free. He wants everybody to be free.
Oh, I've heard about that thing. That people keep talking about that. But what he said to Scourge. No, not Scourge. Like, what was the name? Surge. Surge.
Yeah, Surge. Scourge is, that's Ken Fender's.
Yeah, that's fuck.
It'd be mad
Yeah,
funny if Ken Fender started working on the movies.
No, no, it would not actually. It'd be a dark day.
True, because then we get Echidna story, but then we get more Idris Elba, so I'm torn. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. The only character in this movies that I really like the characterization of is Tails. Everyone else, I don't know. Maybe it's because I have all this baggage of playing all the main Sonic games and most of the spin-offs, but I'm just not jiving with their characters. At least when I was watching the first and second movie in Japanese, it's voiced by the game cast, so I can still think, oh, it's still the characters. It's not, you know, one-to-one, but it's closer just by having that familiarity.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, part of why I was disappointed in the movies, because they have that part, is this famous scene. In the trailer, they show the Eclipse Cannon blowing up the moon, right?
Right, and in here it was just an accident.
Yeah, it's an accident. I was expecting Eggman to make a terrorist threat to the president of the United Federations.
People were just waiting for him to have an announcement to make. But I'm sure you know about that
I
already.
time to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch ass motherfucker. He pissed on
Yeah,
my
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
But here's
people
the
were
thing
just
about
waiting
that
for-
stuff. I'm not a fan of that. And the same thing
Right.
happens with like SAO Abridged or Dragon Ball Abridged or Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged. These kind of series get popped up into osmosis, pop culture osmosis, and I do think that as individual works they're fine and they can be pretty funny at times. But at the same time, it's just we have the same issue that I understand what the people who watch the prequels really don't like watching it. People who've only seen the memes. It's like, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. And then everyone's like, oh, it's from the meme. I hate that shit. It's the same feeling that I get with, oh, you mean from Fortnite? Where people don't understand the original source material, so it gets bastardized into some other claim.
That I'm annoyed with too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will admit it is kind of upsetting. The Eclipse Cannon part wasn't an actual direct.
Yeah, it should have been a terrorist threat, but then again, a terrorist threat in a modern movie wouldn't fly very well. Those kind of stopped flying very well after 9/11, I'm just saying.
Fair enough. And
I get it.
Adventure 2 came before
9/11.
right?
Yeah, but by a few months. Like, I'm dead serious. It was very close. Okay?
True.
I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog. That's the part that gets me. Where he's like, citizens of Earth, you have 24 hours before I use the cannon. And then we cut to Shadow talking to Rouge and Eggman. Our threats fell on deaf ears. And I said to myself, what? You mean to tell me that they blew up the moon and nobody cared?
Yeah, that's something. But in here, I want. Hopefully in the next movie they'll be consistent with the moon. Because face it, in the games despite what happened, the moon looks perfectly fine.
Okay, that's actually not true. So this is actually canon. This has been in a statement from Iizuka since 2005 that the reason we don't see the broken moon is because
It turned around.
it turned around. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it looks fine, but we know in lore it's technically still broken, but we don't see it like that.
Yeah, but it's
But-
not a
but
plot
you-
hole. Technically.
Yeah, but here it wasn't a side of the moon was blown. They cleaned off the bottom half.
Yeah.
By the bottom of it. It's gonna be hard to write that off. Unless they come with him like gun went up and repaired the moon somehow.
Well, I mean, it could be a reference to the Egg Moon from Sonic X. Because the
So
funny thing,
oh, go ahead.
because the funny thing is that we actually catch up to the remakes, but the problem is the remakes shrink the events to such a degree that we'll be ahead of the remake, and then in the very next episode session recording, we're behind again.
So basically, after this, we're going back to all three.
Yeah. And it's going to be very, very nice. As you can see, we are 9% of the way through the game.
9%! Yay! Yeah, this is a long game, people. It's a very long game.
Neptunia games, jokes aside, besides V2, Mark II is the shortest game, but second place is V2.
Oh.
Yeah, the Neptunia V2 and Mark II are the shortest Neptunia games. In fact, if you know what you're doing, you can beat Mark II in 15 hours. I'm dead serious.
I'm only talking about main game.
Yeah, I'm talking about specifically just getting an ending. Any ending of your choice. The only exception to that rule is Conquest ending, because you have to do very specific things to get it right.
Speaking of games, did you hear about how the Neptunia versus Doggo game is coming out in January?
And here's the part. Nintendo said, no swimsuits. We're not allowing you to put the swimsuits in the game.
Okay, I find it funny they're doing this when they have actual freaking hentai games in the eShop.
Look, Neptunia is always mistreated by everybody if you really want to analyze it. Okay? I'm honestly surprised Mark II has a T rating. Not at Mark II. Rebirth 2 has a T rating. As a matter of fact, if you graded them under the modern ESRB scrutiny, Rebirth 1 and Rebirth 3, realistically under the current ESRB, should get an M rating, and then Mark II and Rebirth 2 would have an adult-only rating today.
Whoa, okay. Why? Because of the Conquest ending?
No, not because of the Conquest ending, but because of Trick and what he wants to do with a Ramen Ram that he vocally expresses. You can't have that sort of language directed towards a character that is depicted to be younger than the age of consent in a modern video game.
Fair enough. Yeah, Trick. I think Trick is a huge problem. That's probably why we're not getting the Rebirth trilogy on the Switch.
And the funny thing is about the Trick is that he's actually toned down in Rebirth 2 compared to the original Mark II version.
Going down how I saw in Rebirth, so he still does shit.
Look, he's still a piece of shit. Okay, that's obvious. But I mean, in the original games, the stuff that he says he's gonna do to Ram and Ram, like how he's gonna force Ram to sit on his lap, that was crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like, damn, they didn't care, man. Yeah, the Mark II is a game that, if it tried to come out today, would not be on console. It would be a PC exclusive. And I try to make my voice sound like Big Man Gamer there, but what country is that guy from? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay. I've spent a bit trying to figure out his accent, but I couldn't. I had no clue.
Are you getting the game, or you just wait when it comes out, or you just gotta wait till it comes to PC?
Which game? Oh,
Neptunia versus
Doggy
Doggo.
Riders? I don't even think I'm getting the game. I'm gonna be honest, man. I cannot support the E-ratification of this series. I can't. Okay? There's something in me that just compels me not to buy it. Okay, this would be like if GTA 6 got an E rating. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
People
would buy it.
Even if it was the most mechanically well-built Grand Theft Auto game, I would not buy it, and so neither would a lot of people. That's the way I see it.
I would not.
Do you now see my point of view?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
The difference there is I like Neptunia more than like GTA.
I agree. I like Neptunia a lot more, but I still won't do it.
Eh, I'm still considering it. Like, I don't know.
Well, since we've had more time to look at the original game on its own, what do you think of it now that we've had 6 episodes or so of going through it?
The battle system is slow.
Anything else?
Well, I will say that it depends on how you're viewing it, how long it takes to do story stuff and such. But honestly, I think in here it works fine. Then you have a lot to discuss and show.
Yeah. Also, the dialogue. See, this is another case. You know how we were talking about the Sonic movie in the last episode? It's the same case
Yeah.
here, where the characters of the original trilogy are written differently from how they're written in Rebirth 1 and, you know, the future games after that. Because Rebirth 1, Rebirth 2, and Rebirth 3 all had different English scripts for the remake. Whereas in Mark 2 and Rebirth 3, no, Mark 2 and Rebirth 2 and Victory and Rebirth 3, they actually had the same script for Japan. They only changed the English script. So having the characters act differently in a remake just throws me off. Okay, we see in the remake how Neptune and Compa and IF act to each other, and they're a lot more friendly to each other. And I get it that, okay, the anime came out, so we know that they're the best of friends, they're the super best friends, and you know they're gonna go save a store together. Okay, that's not really how these characters act to each other. They're mostly a party out of a circumstance. IF bad talks Neptune throughout most of the game, and in fact at the beginning of the game, if you remember, she even said, "I can't stand her." And then Compa's only with Neptune because she wants to make sure that she's okay, because she knows that Neptune doesn't have her memories. It's the nurse in training in her. They develop a friendship as the game progresses, whereas in the remake, the friendship is already there.
Yeah, I will admit that doesn't make it kind of weak.
Yeah, it weakens the writing. Now, the gameplay is subjective. Like, personally, I still think this is the best combat besides Mark II. Mark II, because for whatever reason, the the style of RPG that Mark II created was so good, and then they just never improved upon it. Well, they improved upon it in that they added more things, but I think Mark II worked because of the system that it created specifically for that game. Because if you look at the combat system between Mark II and Victory, even though they play the same because it's the same engine, the actual mechanics behind it are different mechanics. For example, Victory adds the EXE drive. Now, I know that that Mark II does technically have the MP and SP drives, but it doesn't work in the same way. And as a matter of fact, Rebirth 1, 2, and 3 all just have the Victory engine. They're just using the Victory battle system and nothing else. They're not making any modifications. As a matter of fact, I did the joke. You could show me 3 screenshots of Rebirth 1, 2, and 3, and I would not be able to tell you which game was which outside of whatever characters are in your party. But if you just have Neptune in front for all 3, it's over. I can't tell you.
So it's pretty like the office meme.
Yeah, it's kind of like Call of Duty, where if you look at the modern Call of Duties, if you showed me a screenshot of them, unless it's a very specific mechanic dedicated to that specific game, I probably couldn't tell the difference between them.
I get, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Whereas this game, if you're seeing this game, you can 100% tell which Neptunia game this is.
True.
I'm gonna be honest though, the run button of the later games has completely spoiled me. Realizing that I have to walk everywhere. Okay? It really shows off how much longer it takes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's clearly tell.
I mean, what do you think so far about this this dungeon?
I definitely like this in terms of the layout, considering in most games now, the dungeons are just reused over and over again. I don't think we have a we have a snow forest dungeon in the modern game.
You know what they do for the Snow Forest dungeon in the remake?
One.
They just take Virtua Forest and then add a filter to add a snow effect.
Oh my god.
Couldn't believe it. I'm like, it's a really good looking filter, but come on, guys. Okay, Mark II at least gets the excuse of it's the first game with those dungeons, so I don't hold it against it. But once we get to Victory, and there's maybe 3 new dungeons, and then they just don't add any more dungeons until we get to V2. What is this?
Which is kind of boring since V3 takes place in a different dimension.
There is no Victory 3.
What?
V3 isn't a game. You mean Victory is just one game.
Why did they get V3 from?
V3 does not exist in this series. I mean, if you really want to make the argument, you can make the argument that Sisters vs. Sisters is Victory 3, but no. Not really.
No. I meant V.
Yeah, Victory is great. Yeah. I actually do think that if I could pay whatever companies need their royalties and whatever other costs are needed, I don't care how much it would cost, assuming I was rich. I would pay for them to just release the...
I heard about V is that people don't like how Neptune is characterized there.
Because they pretty much just made Neptune a sadist. Okay? Neptune is so mean in that game. And it's not like Plutia where it's over the top that it's funny. She's just rude. Hell, she
for no reason, right?
Well, I mean, she does it a few times because she doesn't want to get hurt by Plutia, but then it just becomes part of her. Like, even in scenes where Plutia isn't there, she's just mad mean. Hell, there's even a moment where she openly lies to Nepgear and then doesn't give her the souvenir. Neptune's entire quest was to get a souvenir for Nepgear, and she intentionally forgets it.
Wow, that just...
Although, it was funny that Rebirth 3 actually had to remove the original emo affinity that was in Victory. Because that was an unlockable skill for Nepgear, and when you used it, it would drain your SP, and the only thing it did was reduce Nepgear's HP.
Oh my god.
You see what I mean? Why they don't re-release the original trilogy? That would never fly today.
No, it would not.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
The original trilogy, I'm gonna be honest, is some of the best JRPG experience I've ever had. But man, thinking about the modern ratings board, meaning the Japan Sero system, the PEGI system of Europe, and the ESRB of America, it's something else, man. And the Clasificación ABC of Mexico. I love the Mexican ESRB system because it's actually very consistent. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So the goal of this dungeon is to defeat some enemies called Yukis. And
it's that giant hammer thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, now that you've seen more of them, what do you think of the Louis era? No, this isn't Louis. I think we're in Last Station? Not Last Station. Lean Box. I have no idea where we are. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of forgot. Let me check. We are in Lean Box. Okay. What do you think of the enemy design so far? Well, compared to new stuff.
Honestly, I think these designs go more hard than what we have now. I mean, in a good way. Like, the enemy just seem more menacing.
They seem like enemies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they continue the tradition into the future of an enemy from this game becomes a super boss in a different game. Because I just love that idea that, oh, the enemies in this game are so powerful that the other versions of these characters need to be level 99 to even stop them. Although, interestingly enough, in my Rebirth 3 playthrough, I'm already at level 130 and I'm still getting bodied by some enemies in the story campaign.
You can count on me.
And
How are you getting bodied when you're like in the 100?
because Rebirth 3 is hard as fuck. It's so difficult. As a matter of fact, if you don't have the DLC, your level cap is at 99.
I've been waiting for this.
Huh.
And yet I still get game overs, man. It's maddeningly infuriating.
Yeah, I would find it to be too.
Now, I get it because Neptunia is actually not a... It's not a kid series, so unlike Pokemon, it actually has the leisure of challenging the player. Which I think every game did, except for Sisters vs. Sisters. I went undefeated in that entire playthrough, whereas in Game Maker Revolution, I've died more than once. I got an achievement! What? What happened?
Glad you depend on me.
I'm pretty sure I got that achievement too. Whatever.
Probably.
Yeah, this enemy though, it looks like...
I've been waiting for this.
It looks like something you would see in Dark Souls 1, I'm not gonna lie.
Next, please.
Honestly, yeah, I do see... Don't look like a Dark Souls enemy.
I mean, do you like my editing to remove the attack animations? Do you?
Oh, has an edit? I thought you were just pressing a button to skip it.
Later for switching. My turn.
Well, what do you think it is?
Like I said, I thought you were just holding a button to skip it, like in Mark 2 and Mega Dimension. So you just skip through the attack.
So, fun fact, you actually can't hold a button to skip attacks in this game.
I've been waiting.
So all these were things, you're literally just cutting them out.
Not easy.
Fun fact, the timer doesn't run during attack animations. Because they knew it would be impossible to get an S rank with that.
Easy.
So answer the question. You didn't answer the question. Are you actually cutting them or not?
So, sometimes I'm cutting them out, and then sometimes
Job, everyone.
you can mash a button to get the game to stop playing the animation.
Yeah, but either way, it seems seamless. So look, it works. Whatever works.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. You can tell this was recorded at 720p. You know, we finally get to customize the HUD of Neptune. And let's just say that this customization is one of the most important customizations you can do. There are certain combinations of HUD outfits that if you try to use them, you cannot beat this game. Okay? This game actually makes you think about your statistics, your parameters, as it says in the game. I still don't know what clock frequency, memory, and heat does, though. I still don't know what they do. What do you think
Yeah,
they do?
I don't know. I got no idea.
Well, now that you've seen more of this menu, how do you think it works?
Seeing more, I could be able to see because you're going fast.
I guess. Anyways, we now get to meet... Oh wait, no. We have to do another dungeon. Crap. Crap.
Sugar boy!
Except now we get to go to a dungeon in Louis. Now, what you're not seeing, because I'm editing that out, is me walking over to Louis. Okay? I'm not doing that to you.
I thought you said we're going to Louis.
We are in Louis. This is a different dungeon.
No, this is Leanbox.
No, no. There's a snow dungeon in Leanbox and there's a snow dungeon in Louis.
But it is the exact same.
No, the map is different. The
The
area.
layout is different, but the area is the same.
Yeah, yeah. The textures are the same, absolutely. But the map itself is different. It's not the same map.
Item obtained.
Look, this game isn't completely original dungeon textures for every single dungeon. No, there's too many dungeons that you wouldn't have the space to do it. Okay, the PS3 could handle a lot of things, but I don't think anyone wants to work on that many textures. And we're gonna fight a Cleone, which is the super boss of the remake.
No,
I
Which
keep,
looks like a Digimon.
I keep saying that, but it bears repeating. Where did the design for this thing come from? Now that we get a better angle at it, now that it's not in a shrunken screen.
my turn.
I got no idea. It looks.
Let me stand back for a bit.
You think they took basis from Mew?
Turn.
That would be a hell of a reference, but I don't think so. Cause I don't know. I think it's closer to Jirachi, no, not Mew. And even
Yeah.
I still don't think it's a Pokemon reference. I'm convinced it's from something else.
I'm still going with Digimon. Cause like, let me show you a picture. Let me get it real quick.
Sure thing.
I think I can keep going.
All right. We need to make it to a boss, a Maji boss. Actually, no. This is a get to the exit mission. This is actually a story mission. It's not a cutscene. Not a cutscene. Excuse me. It's not a ranked dungeon. This is a story location. Good, right?
Alright.
I mean, I must admit, the random giant pumpkins never made sense to me. Don't you agree?
I'ma break it.
Oh yeah, those are weird.
Yeah. Like these enemies here. I would like to fight something like this in Sisters vs. Sisters. This looks like it can beat me up. And it looks like it would provide a very unique challenge. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I forgot what the name. I forgot the name of it, but I know the other Digimon that looks almost exactly. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. 1 second. Let me get the picture.
Also, fun fact: there's an attack that Red can do with an attack animation, but the attack animation is so elaborate that the first time you use it, the attack will glitch out, and you'll just get a now loading screen for a few seconds.
Anyway, here. It looks a lot like Marine Angemon.
Oh wow, that looks just like it.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
Let me see when this thing was made. When it first appeared in.
Remember, this game comes out in 2010, so we gotta make sure.
Okay, hold on. It came out on Digimon Tamers, I think. Digimon Tamers. Well, Tamers was from 2001, 2002.
It'd be some
So-
craziness if it was just a Digimon, though. I don't know, because this game references the game industry, but does that Digimon have any reference to like Crazy EXP game or something?
No. It literally just when it shows up, what it does, it literally like the kryptonite to a living computer virus.
So it has
That's-
nothing to
that's-
do
that's-
with what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah, it literally the kryptonite of a living computer virus that took over the mind of a little girl, and then started to consume the world.
Excuse me? Man, these plots are... I think I've long accepted that I'm no longer in the target demographic of any intellectual property.
I hope we'll find
I
Yeah,
really
probably
don't,
not.
I really don't think I am. And, you know, it just means, okay, just time to replay the same sixth and seventh generation of games over and over again. So many of them anyways, I'll never finish. Okay, we finally meet Lady Whiteheart.
Out time.
Holy crap. And let's just say that she is a very different character in this game.
audience. What would you have me do?
Okay, Whiteheart is not a patriot like she is in the main series.
So adorable as hell though.
Make them leave.
Yep. So, fun fact, that book is actually called Mushroom.
Perhaps
Kinoko.
we should try
Ah.
to be more welcoming.
Okay?
You
And then her notebook is Chuni.
weakened due to wavering faith?
So that's adorable.
Yeah.
How could your protection ever weaken?
Man, they were just doing so well with the art in this game. This game just looks so good, don't you agree?
They may
Yeah.
I miss this era of the CGs though. Like, I really wish that we could get the PS3 art style CGs again.
It's not gonna work. You can't
because
it would be nice.
my goodness, when I'm playing Reverse and they show a new CG, a Rebirth CG, and a PS3 CG, and I'm just thinking these do not look like they come from the same game. Oh yeah, Financier, a named character with who is
The name character who just
a silhouette
blank.
because they didn't have the budget yet.
These three are the ladies wishing to meet with Lady White.
It's crazy how many characters just don't have budget assigned to them.
They are traveling the world in
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? It's the fact that
Well,
Girls are
technically speaking,
correct?
this is the only Neptunia game where every story cutscene is voiced.
Excuse me.
really, all of them.
Every single one is voiced for the story cutscenes. The optional stuff isn't, but all of the main story is voiced.
That cheeky, stupid face. Stupid face?
Yeah.
I guess I'm all
For example, Red and 5PB's cutscenes aren't voiced, but that's because they're missable. As a matter of fact, the only characters you have to get to beat the game are Neptune, IF Compa, Nisa, and Gust.
What are you plotting?
That's it.
We gotta get them to
You don't need. In fact, you never even have to interact with Vert the entire game.
key fragments are guarded by strong
There is no mandatory boss fight with Vert at any point.
Huh. What I wonder what they have to say about what Sega feels about Neptunia.
Well, no. What
I'm more like
the reason for that is because Xbox Original and Dreamcast never competed.
Totally not goddess knowledge.
Think about it.
Aren't I goddess
The-
knowledge for you?
The PlayStation 2 comes out, and the GameCube comes out, and all of a sudden the Dreamcast is dead.
But this is your
Oh, wow.
land. You gotta
Okay?
get the back of your
The
head.
PS2 was too good.
Busy, we can come back later.
100%.
Tomorrow? The day after? The
For
day
example, when they announced the Sega Saturn back in the 90s,
told you I don't know.
the Sega representative gave this amazing speech.
It's the back
Okay?
of your hand.
And I'm talking, this is the kind of speech that they give lectures about in marketing classes. Okay? That level of speech. Okay? There are entire lectures dedicated to the study of this level of
Then monster
marketing.
and
And you know what Sony does when they reveal the PlayStation 1?
really pissing me off.
what?
You know what Sony did when they revealed the PlayStation 1?
Don't care anymore.
What?
Would that
Because we had the Sega executive go for the affordable price of $399.
one named Isty?
When they revealed the PlayStation 1,
Holy crap.
the Sony executive said one word,
Such nerve showing yourself in
$299, and then walked off stage.
Never return.
And that killed the Saturn.
They sold the people, but oh yeah, I keep forgetting $299 is not like $2.99. No, that's what we're talking about, right?
No, it's $299.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, but wow, that is
Conversación.
cheap console compared now. Only the Switch costs that much.
Job is to go propagate
Well, if you do adjust for inflation, it's about accurate. It's like $500. So,
Yeah, I'm
so
aware.
it's not
Inflation.
completely inaccurate. I mean, realistically, the Saturn sold for the equivalent of $800 today.
so annoying. Did you just come back?
Okay, they completely decimated them.
Bag?
Anyways, we have this character, the Evangelist, Conversación.
Freaking clue. Stop
Yeah, she's French, by the way. That name does not sound good in English.
Do that until you stop having your little violent childish tantrums.
Man.
Was that
So,
appropriate?
at this point, the Evangelist, Conversación,
People won't
is speaking with
fall
Whiteheart,
to
saying,
receive protection.
by the way, those three?
I
Yeah,
No.
they're heretics.
I get it, okay? There are more and more
What?
casualties from monsters. It's a
Okay, so part of the plot of this game,
You should
and even the
be
remakes do it as well,
even with me.
is the fact that Neptune, IF, and Compa get branded as
You can
heretics.
only improve those by improving your level of self-control.
And here I am staying quiet like
What the hell
you
happened?
asked. I swallow most of my words so I don't just spit them out.
Still,
Pausing recording.
emotional outbursts are unacceptable as a god.
Anyway, so the thing about Blonde's character is that
Fully aware I'm so
completely
very
separate from Hyperdimension,
bratty.
she is a rude person who understands that she's rude.
Smile again.
But part of why the charm works
Does Lady White
is because she's okay with that. She doesn't feel
Bye. Excuse my
anything
shitty language.
against her personality style. However, people like Conversación and other characters in the story will criticize her for it. But that's the end of this episode for today, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day.